The conflicts between the old Oyo Empire and the old Asante Kingdom can be traced back to their overlapping territorial ambitions and the desire to control key trade routes and resources. Both powers sought to expand their influence and dominate the trade in gold, slaves, and other commodities in the region. These conflicts often took the form of raids and full-scale wars. Battles were fought over control of trade routes, border regions, and vassal states. The Oyo Empire and Ashanti Kingdom clashed intermittently over several centuries, with neither side achieving a conclusive victory or complete subjugation of the other. This video is an hypothetical account of how the war must-have battle went down, as there are no clear historical writings of the actual conflicts. Please sit back and enjoy. Once upon a time, in the vast lands of West Africa, the old Asante tribe of Ghana and the old Oyo Empire of Nigeria found themselves locked in a fierce war for supremacy. Both renowned for their military prowess, these ancient civilizations stood at the pinnacle of power and influence in their respective regions. The Asante tribe, hailing from the Gold Coast, present-day Ghana, possessed a rich and prosperous kingdom. They were known for their exceptional gold trade and well-structured political system. The Asante people boasted a formidable army, consisting of skilled warriors trained in the art of warfare. Their troops were organized into disciplined units and had a reputation for fierce determination on the battlefield. The Asante army was equipped with spears, swords, and bows, and they also utilized cavalry units. Their war strategies emphasized guerrilla tactics and quick strikes, often catching their enemies off guard. On the other side of the battlefield stood the mighty old Oyo Empire, which dominated the Yoruba region of present-day Nigeria. The Oyo Empire had a well-developed administrative system, extensive trade networks, and a strong military tradition. Their army consisted of fierce cavalry units known as Oyomesi, which were feared for their lightning-fast charges and deadly accuracy with the bow and arrow. The Oyo Empire also had a well-structured hierarchy and efficient command structure, enabling them to swiftly mobilize their forces. In terms of wealth and resources, the Asante tribe possessed great riches in the form of gold, which funded their military campaigns and strengthened their economy. The Oyo Empire, on the other hand, had vast agricultural lands, which provided them with a steady food supply and the ability to sustain a large army for extended periods. If we compare the army sizes, the old Oyo Empire had an advantage in terms of numbers. Historical records suggest that the Oyo Empire could field an army of tens of thousands of warriors, making them a force to be reckoned with. The Asante tribe, although formidable, had a smaller population and a relatively smaller army. However, the Asante compensated for their numerical disadvantage with their disciplined and well-trained troops. In terms of war strategies, both civilizations had their strengths. The Asante tribe's guerrilla tactics and quick strikes allowed them to exploit the element of surprise, targeting vulnerable points in the enemy's defenses. On the other hand, the Oyo Empire's cavalry units were highly mobile and devastating in their charges, capable of overwhelming their opponents through sheer force. The old Asante tribe of Ghana engaged in several wars and military campaigns, expanding their influence and territorial control. It is important to note that historical records and accounts may vary, and precise details may be challenging to ascertain. But here are a few wars conquered by the Asantes. The Denkira Wars. The old Asante tribe clashed with the Denkira Kingdom, a powerful neighboring state, in a series of wars that spanned several decades. These conflicts, known as the Denkira Wars, were driven by territorial disputes and the Asante tribe's desire to assert their authority. After many years of conflict, the Asante tribe emerged victorious, effectively subjugating the Denkira kingdom and absorbing its territory and resources. The Ga-Fanti Wars. The Asante tribe also engaged in conflicts with the Ga and Fanti people, two ethnic groups residing in present-day Ghana. These wars were fought over trade routes, control of the coastal regions, and access to European traders. The Asante tribe aimed to extend their dominance over these areas and establish their authority as the preeminent power. While the outcome of these wars varied, the Asante tribe managed to exert considerable influence over the Ga and Fanti territories. The Ashanti Akim Abwakwa Wars. The old Ashanti tribe faced numerous battles against the Akim and Akim Abwakwa kingdoms, located in the eastern part of present-day Ghana. These conflicts revolved around territorial control, trade, and resource disputes. The Ashanti tribe sought to expand their influence into these regions, but the wars were often protracted and inconclusive, with both sides experiencing victories and setbacks. Expansion into the northern territories. The old Ashanti tribe embarked on military campaigns to expand their dominance into the northern territories, including regions inhabited by the Gonja and Dagomba peoples. These conflicts were driven by a desire to control trade routes and access valuable resources in the north. The Ashanti tribe achieved varying degrees of success in these campaigns, solidifying their influence in some areas while facing resistance and limited control in others. On the other end, the old Oyo Empire of Nigeria, also known as the Oyo Kingdom, was a powerful and expansive state that engaged in numerous wars and military campaigns during its reign. While specific details may vary due to the scarcity of written records, here are a few conquered conquest by Oyo, the Yoruba Wars. The old Oyo Empire engaged in a series of conflicts collectively known as the Yoruba Wars, which were fought against various Yoruba city-states and kingdoms in present-day Nigeria. These wars aimed to consolidate Oyo's dominance over the Yoruba-speaking region and expand its influence. The Oyo Empire sought to establish its authority and control over trade routes, resources, and political alliances. These wars often involved shifting alliances and rivalries among the Yoruba states, resulting in periods of Oyo's ascendancy and intermittent conflicts. Nupe Wars. The Oyo Empire clashed with the Nupe Kingdom, located in present-day Nigeria, in a series of wars. These conflicts centered around territorial control, trade routes, and access to valuable resources. The Nupe Wars were protracted and involved several military campaigns, with both sides vying for dominance. The outcome of these wars varied over time, with periods of Oyo's expansion and periods of stalemate or retreat. Dahomey Wars. The old Oyo Empire also engaged in conflicts with the Kingdom of Dahomey, located in present-day Benin. These wars were driven by territorial disputes, control over trade routes, and competition for dominance in the region. The Dahomey Wars were characterized by fierce battles and military campaigns, with both sides seeking to assert their authority and expand their territories. The outcome of these conflicts varied, with periods of Oyo's success and periods of resistance or stalemate. Expansion into the Aja and Borgu regions. The Oyo Empire conducted military campaigns to expand its influence and control over the Aja and Borgu regions, which encompassed present-day southwestern Nigeria and parts of Benin and Togo. These campaigns aimed to secure trade routes, access valuable resources, and extend the Oyo Empire's dominance into new territories. The Oyo Empire achieved varying degrees of success in these campaigns, with some areas fully integrated into the empire, while others maintained varying levels of autonomy. It is important to note that the old Oyo Empire's military engagements were not limited to these specific conflicts. The empire engaged in numerous battles, wars, and expeditions against neighboring states, rival empires, and external forces throughout its reign. These military endeavors played a crucial role in shaping the Oyo Empire's territorial expansion, political influence, and cultural significance in West Africa. In an head-to-head battle, putting the two kingdoms' strength and weakness in consideration, we can establish that the Oyo Empire has an advantage over the Asantes due to the sheer size of its army, but the Asantes were more strategic and had a deadly style of battle. It's hard to determine who would have won these wars. Ultimately, the outcome of the war would depend on various factors, such as the military leadership, the strategies employed, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. It is challenging to determine a clear victor, as both civilizations were formidable in their own right. However, it is certain that such a conflict would leave a lasting impact on the history and development of both the Asante tribe and the Oyo Empire, shaping the destiny of their respective regions for generations to come. Thanks for watching. If you like these video concept of putting various empires from our ancestral African tribes against each other on an head-to-head battle to determine who would dominate, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below suggestions on what tribes you'll love to see go head-to-head. Until next time, brothers and sisters.